speak with right now, and joining us right now is former Naval Intelligence Officer, former FBI National Joint Terrorism Task Force head Steve Rogers. Steve, thank you very much for joining the conversation this morning.
You're welcome, Maria.
What can you tell us, your reaction to this?
Maria, we are in a period of time now in history where we have to come to grips that we are living, breathing World War III. This is a world war, and until the United States government and Western governments understand that and come to grips with that, we're going to end up in very, very serious shape. Look, it's a global war on terrorism. These terrorists are worldwide. Our borders are open. We're taking in refugees. We're not doing enough to fight this war militarily and diplomatically. So when I woke up this morning and saw what happened in Belgium, this is just a prelude to what's coming here. And we've said that over and over and over again.
How do we stop it? How do we prevent it?
Well, we have to do a number of things. I think militarily we have to be tough. This idea of prick bombing here and there is doing nothing. We have to launch massive military strikes on their headquarters and on their command and control centers and supply lines in the Mideast, number one. Number two, this idea that we're not playing by their rules, and by no means am I suggesting we should torture everyone we capture, but they know we're very soft here. They know that when you come here, you will get your Miranda rights, you will get a lawyer, you'll probably be tried in a civilian court. I thank the good Lord that the terrorists were caught in Belgium, because they will use all means necessary to extract from these terrorists what they need to know to save lives. So you got two fronts. You got the military front, you've got the diplomatic front, and then the final front is Homeland Security. Our government is cutting funding on Homeland Security. They're cutting funding when it comes to training local police departments and other agencies to deal with terrorism. We've got to increase the funding. We've got to train cops on the street to tell us the who, what, when, where, and why in these neighborhoods.
What do you think? Oh, sorry, Megan, go ahead.
Can you just explain to me what de Blasio has done that has made us less safe? Everyone keeps referencing these policies that he's gotten rid of.
Well, yeah, he's become politically correct. I believe that under Mayor Giuliani, you had undercover agents and you had police officers working in concert with some of the mosque leaders to get police officers embedded in mosques. See what's going on. See what they're saying. What kind of message are they giving to the people? From what I understand, Mayor de Blasio has stopped that. You need what we call human intelligence sources on the ground, in the neighborhoods, in the mosques. Now look, anywhere that you believe, it's not just isolated to mosque. I mean, this stuff could be preached anywhere. But anywhere, any place that you believe that this preaching against the United States and Western government is taking place, you need to put assets there, human assets. He virtually has stopped that.
What do you do about the border? And I don't mean the Mexican border. I'm talking about the border as in airports in particular. We were talking about this earlier. Maybe you've heard Senator McCain. We were talking about the visa waiver program. If you're a European citizen, provided you meet certain very, very minimal tests, you can come into the United States without a visa, without even having to apply for a visa. You can come here, and by the way, not just European, but other countries too. But obviously in Europe, there are a lot of these jihadis there. Is it time to stop that program? Is it time to reimpose those kind of border controls? And the reason I ask it is, as Senator McCain said, that's been great for business, right? You want people to come to the United States to do business here, to spend money here, to open businesses here, to invest here. It's worked. Is it time, though, to say, well, look, that economic benefit is now outweighed by the security risk, and we've got to shut that down?
Yes, it absolutely is. The first responsibility of government is to protect its citizens. I look at the Israeli model. I remember when I went to Israel years ago during the Operation Desert Shield. Boy, to get into that airport, to get out of that airport, you went through check after check after check. They checked you up and down, inside out, and they kept their country and continue to keep it as secure as possible. So to your point, yes, it's a changing world. The security risks far, far are more important than the business at this point. We're not going to have any businesses left if we keep this up.
We should point out that David Cameron has tweeted out, "We stand with Brussels." We have not heard from President Obama. He, of course, is in Cuba at this point, apparently headed to Argentina for a trip there as well. Are you surprised we have not heard from President Obama?
No, he's off in his own world. I find it hard to believe that he's in Cuba doing what he's doing when the world is in a crisis. But let me share this with you, Maria, also. I've been here many times, and we've talked about all of these world leaders saying, I stand with you, I stand with you, I stand by your side. It's time to stand up and to take action. You know, it's like the committee that has been formed to study the committee, okay? Right. The world is crying out. People are crying out. take significant action and take it now.
It's quite extraordinary.
I just want to point out that we just got a statement from John Kasich that was put on Twitter, and he would be, by my count, the second presidential candidate who has responded to these terror attacks in Brussels. And it's much of, he expresses his solidarity with the people of Belgium. He does say we must redouble our efforts with our allies to identify, root out, and destroy the perpetrators of such acts of evil, strengthen our alliances as a way of life and the international system that's built on our common values since the end of the Second World War, as it comes under challenge from these and other actors of evil. Long statement, but that's kind of the gist of it.
You wonder if it really resonates with the American people. I mean, exactly as Dagan says, I'm just looking at it too. It's Donald Trump tweets out first, and he tweets 140 characters, and it's typically kind of robust Donald Trump stuff.
Right.
John Kasich issues a very measured statement, expressing at great length solidarity with people around the world. It doesn't feel like he's really connecting in a way.
You bring up a very good point. The American people have been desensitized to all these political statements, no matter who's
They don't want a statement.
Right. That's exactly right.
It's a good point you make.
And it's done with the best of intentions, but it just does sound like political correctness. And all this stuff about we stand with the people of Belgium, and they're now talking about the Eiffel Tower is going to be lit in the colours of the Belgian flag tonight. It all's great, but it's not dealing with the threat.
But it's better than nothing, and that's what we have gotten from this president time and again, is radio silence.
We should point out that he had planned to go to Cuba, obviously, before this happened. He's in Cuba already. So, then it happened. You have to expect that there are phones or, information or statements that he could be giving at this point, the way David Cameron did, to say that we stand with Brussels. We have not heard from the president, though, yet.
Yeah. Again, I do think it comes back. Look, I'm sure they're probably trying to figure out what's going on and how he should respond. It is really the timing is really unfortunate. Because, again, he's there in Cuba to take a kind of victory lap for his foreign policy, because he thinks the opening to Cuba is one of his great legacies. And maybe history will judge.
But reality keeps happening.
But unfortunately,
not much of a victory.
Right. It doesn't look like the right place to be right
I also think Americans right now just want their fear and anger validated, because we've been told for the last 8 years to be politically correct, as you have stated.
And Megan, they want action. They want a leader to stand up and say, enough's enough. We're going to defend the homeland, and we're going to defend freedom around the world, like we used to.
Well, when President Bush used to say, get them dead or alive, smoke them out, this is some of my favorite things President Bush ever said, and we have a president right now who won't even identify or say Islamic extremism.
They have no fear of us.
Extraordinary. It really is.
They're probably trying to, again, because I think he did handle the reaction to the Paris attack so badly, they're also probably trying to figure out what exactly he's going to have to come out at some point with a statement. They want to make sure that he doesn't go down like he did after the Paris
But what
attack.
is there to say other than we stand with Brussels? He's in Cuba.
Yeah, well, I guess they're still trying to figure out, they probably want to get more details. He's probably on he's still in Cuba, he's on his way to Argentina.
No, the problem is every time he speaks, he projects weakness.
Yeah.
That's a real serious problem. We need a leader to stand up and to say, enough is enough. It's time to take action.